48 back again, and welcome back to another episode of NRR. And in today's episode, we're going to be reviewing the Bristol night race. And man, it was something. It was a little bit of a drag there. It wasn't as good as the first Bristol race, but it was still a pretty good race. I'm going to give it a pretty good rating. And speaking of that, we're going to be, reviewing the top 10 finishers. We're going to be, and after that, we're going to rate the race. After that, we're going to be looking at the playoff standings, because this was the last race of the round of 16. See what 4 drivers got out of the race. And, yeah, go from there. And I have an announcement after the end of this episode. Well, it's about a future video coming up like Wednesday, and I bet you guys should know. But anyway, let's go ahead and get this thing started. Finishing in first was Kevin Harvick. They had just a really, really good Ford Mustang tonight. Like, he got a little dinged up with like 50 or 60 laps to go. He knocked a hole in the nose and made it a little too tight through the center of the corner, but turned it into like a heck of a race, in and out of traffic there, with Kyle Busch. And and Kyle Busch got Harvick once pinned up there in traffic, and he was able to do the same thing back and then hold the lead there until the end of the race, and where Harvick got his 9th win number 58 of his career, 2 more wins than Kyle Busch. Dang, Kevin Harvick. I don't know, I may be going to change my championship picks, because Kevin Harvick is just the man right now. But, just really proud. I bet he's just really proud of everybody because of what they've done all year, and they just continue to fight all season long. And there's not many races that you can win that, are like winning, at the Bristol night race. Like, I bet that was a whole lot of fun for Harvick. That was only his 3rd ever win at the last great Coliseum, so that must be something for Kevin Harvick. But yeah, pretty decent race for Kevin Harvick. He's definitely huge championship favorite, so we'll see what happens. But yeah, overall, a really great night for Kevin Harvick. Finishing second was Kyle Busch. That must have been frustrating, over finishing second, and just felt like, like that was one of their greatest shots to win all year, and you just, I don't know, like, you just come up short. And their Camry was fast, and they had a good car, one that was in contention all night long, and it fired off the start of the race. Like, I bet Kyle Busch was like, oh wow, this is a pretty good car, and then he got beat by another really good car, so I guess. But yeah, really solid night for Kyle Busch, still looking for his first win of 2020, and already in the playoffs. And man, I'm not sure about Kyle Busch making the championship 4, but we'll see what happens. Kyle Busch is still doing pretty good in the playoffs, but he's still looking for that first win of 2020. So we'll see what happens. We're going to Las Vegas. He's won in Las Vegas before, but he hasn't won there in a long time. So we'll see what happens. But overall, a really disappointing, frustrating night for Kyle Busch, but he did get a top 3 finish, or top 5 finish, so at least be happy with that or something. Finishing in third is Erik Jones. I guess it was a solid day for Erik Jones. Like, I thought they had a good car there at the end, but they had to start at the back, and that took a while to work through there and get some track position for them. Like, it is really challenging to pass at Bristol, even though it is a short track, but a good run for them. Like, their Toyota Camry got better all night, and honestly, the last run of the race was their best, and they got up there into third, and Jones kind of knew, he couldn't beat those guys straight up, so, he tried to save a little bit on the front side of the run and run at the end hard, and just kind of ran out of time there. But he just started getting to those guys when they looked, they saw the checker. But yeah, pretty good night for Erik Jones, missing the playoffs and stuff, not returning to JGR after this season. So, trying to audition to see who's going to pick him up. I think the 42 car is a pretty good option, or the 48. We'll see what happens, but overall, pretty decent night for Erik Jones, but still looking for a win to close out his JGR career. Finishing in fourth was Tyler Reddick. Their Chevrolet was a fast one tonight, and, they had a great finish to show for it at Bristol Motor Speedway. Like, it took a couple adjustments to, for them to get their car to where it needed to be. But, their communication as a team on what adjustments to make has been a big focus, for them over the past few weeks. And that paid off during tonight's race. And, he fired off a little loose on the bottom. And tight on the top, so their team had a decision to make on what to focus on. Like I felt that the top of the the better group, for their car. So they chose to work on loosening up their Chevrolet a little bit throughout the night and got in a really good spot for the final stage. So really decent night for Tyler Reddick. Oh my gosh, I cannot speak. Those adjustments made it so, Reddick was able to cut through traffic during the last stage and race their way into the top five for the last 100 laps or so. I think I think Reddick may have pushed, the front tires a little bit too much on that final run, but because he wasn't really catching up as much as Erik Jones was to the other guys, you know but that was a really good night for their team. Like they're chasing wins in these remaining races while also working on building a strong notebook for next year, and this is a solid step in the right direction for both of those goals. So really solid night for Tyler Reddick, trying to set things straight for next year, and still trying to go for wins out there like the other drivers. Finishing in fifth is Erik Amarillo. They had a solid top five tonight at Bristol, and they were moving on to the round of 12 again. So I bet it was a great run for Erik Amarillo. They missed it a bit to start. Their Ford team worked so hard to make the right adjustments all night. Like I heard Amarillo said he was scrapping in the car to get everything he could get. And I bet he's really proud of everyone on the racing. Like ready to see, I'm ready to see if they can't make it happen again in this next round. Because I have to be honest, I want to see what Erik Amarillo does, but I'm not really so confident in him. But hey, I'll save that for Wednesday. But yeah, overall a really decent night for Erik Amarillo. Top 5 finish, and they're going on to the round of 12 for the third year in a row. So let's see what this team can really do. Finishing in 6th was Clint Bowyer. They definitely did what they needed to do. Like their Ford Mustang was pretty good tonight, and they were just way too loose to run, with Kevin Harvick or Kyle Busch. Like the cycle on tires, when they actually had that caution, had a cycle on the tires, and that usually makes it tighter, and that was by far, their best run. Like they drove up there pretty good and put themselves in position there, but as soon as the green flag dropped right there at the end, he was right back loose again, and they did what they had to do. So obviously you come to Bristol to win a race and to be on top of that building over there, but I bet Boyer's proud of his guys at their efforts, because they're going to the round of 12 for the third year in a row as well, and they're moving forward, and that's all that matters right now for them. So we'll see what happens for Clint Bowyer right now in the future, but overall really decent night for Clint Bowyer in the 14 team. Finishing in 7th was Chase Elliott. Definitely excited to move on in the playoffs, for Chase Elliott. Like I thought the team had a solid race tonight. Like it's unfortunate the way the pit cycle went there, but Elliott said that he felt like that they were close. So not sure they were as good as Harvick and Kyle Busch, but I thought they were pretty close to them. And I also heard Elliott say that he was proud of the effort and hoped that this next round is good for them, because it is pretty good for them. They're going to Las Vegas, where they did good there earlier this year, even though they wrecked and stuff. And they're going to Talladega, where literally anybody could win, but I don't think Elliott is excited for Talladega because it's a complete wild card. And yeah, didn't he wreck at Talladega last time? I think he did, but I bet Elliott is excited for the Charlotte Roval, because he is my pick to win the Roval. I'm just going to go ahead and say it out now. I'm not going to review the other 2 races, but Elliott is my pick for the Charlotte Roval race. So we'll see what happens. But Elliott is doing pretty good right now. Like, it's definitely not going to get any easier as it goes. But nice to get the stage point from earlier today, and stage win. They will try again in Vegas. So we'll see what happens for Chase Elliott. But overall, a really solid night for Chase Elliott in the number 19. Finishing in 8th was Chris Buescher. Buescher wasn't really a threat all night, but when drivers were a lap down and some drivers were just fading away because they were just not doing as well late in the run. But yeah, Chris Buescher did pretty good. He climbs his way into the top 10, gets a top 10 finish. So pretty good effort for Chris Buescher, his first top 10 since the Daytona Road Course from earlier in August. But pretty solid run for Chris Buescher. I don't really know what to say. He wasn't really anything all night, but hey, top 10's a top 10, so that must be feeling pretty good for Roush family. But yeah, overall really solid night for Chris Buescher in the 17 team. finishing in ninth was Ryan Preece. I bet that was a really fun night at Bristol Motor Speedway, like, for that team. Like, this year has obviously had its challenges for Preece and, the team, and they worked so hard to try and make the strategy play in their favor and get JTG Darter Racing the finish that they deserve, and I bet it feels really good to be able to put it all together. Like, their Chevrolet was really good on the long run. The cautions finally fell their way, and they were able to capitalize on it. Like, every week for the rest of the season is so important to keep focusing on the positives and get as many good finishes as, they can, and to be able to get, their sponsor, which was right here, the sponsor of the actual car, Busch Beans, as top 10 finish at their home track is something I bet they're proud of, because, I think the Busch Beans headquarters is in Tennessee. So, heck, that must be something for Ryan Preece, and their sponsors at JTG Darter Racing. But, yeah, overall pretty decent night for Ryan Preece. He wasn't really a threat, but, hey, top 10's the top 10, so you'll take it. And isn't that what his first top 10 of 2020? Alright, I'm not going to make fun of it, but a pretty decent night for Ryan Preece. I know this is not Michael McDowell, but it's close because I don't have a Michael McDowell card. Just cannot find one in stores. But finishing a 10th was Michael McDowell. Well, just what an awesome night, for that 34 team. They got a top 10 at Bristol. I bet he's really proud at everybody at Front Row Motorsports. And I bet he's thankful to Bob Jenkins and all the guys, for giving him this opportunity, because it's the best season that McDowell's ever had, and another top 10 really helps to keep their momentum rolling. Like, they also have a Ford in victory lane, so that's awesome. But I bet McDowell was just super excited to get a top 10 at Bristol. He did have a pretty solid night. Wasn't really running up there most of the race, but he was there to get a top 10 finish. But that's his second or third top 10 of the season. So congratulations to Michael McDowell, and hopefully there's more to come later this season or maybe next year. We'll find out soon, but once again, good job to Michael McDowell. Time to rate the race. Now, if I had to rate this race, it wasn't better than the spring Bristol race from earlier this year. I'll give it that. Like, we did have a pretty exciting finish, so I'll give it that. So if I had to rate this race, I'll give it a 9 out of 10. A solid 9 out of 10. Because last time I think I gave it like a 9.5 or a 10 out of 10. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was a 9.5, but I'll give it a 9 out of 10. Slightly a bit of a, dry, because we had such a long green flag run, but then we had a caution coming out, and that set up that 50-something lap, the 50-60 lap, long green flag run that resulted into that, pretty good finish. Kyle Busch was putting so much pressure on Kevin Harvick, but yeah, I'll give it a 9 out of 10. Let me know what you guys would give in the comment section below. Ladies and gentlemen, here are your round of 12 for the NASCAR Cup Series playoff hunt in 2020. Got Kevin Harvick, Denny Hamlin, Brad Keselowski, Joey Logano, Chase Elliott, Martin Truex Jr., Alex Bowman, Austin Dillon, Aric Almirola, Kyle Busch, Clint Bowyer, and Kurt Busch. These are your 6 drivers, and I predicted 2 of them right, 2 of them wrong. I thought Kurt Busch, Austin Dillon would be eliminated. I was wrong. And instead, those 2 being eliminated, the actual 2 drivers who got eliminated were Ryan Blaney and William Byron, which really sucks for them. But I did get 2 of them right. Cole Custer and Matt DiBenedetto, just because it's their first time in the playoffs, and they just don't really have the experience. So, yeah, that's pretty tough on them. But hey, just look on the bright side. Well, for Ryan Blaney, there's not a bright side. Like, they had so much speed earlier in the year, and it's a disappointing collapse. And then Matt DiBenedetto made the playoffs, yay, but might not be enough to keep his ride for the 21 car. Look out for Austin Cindric. And then William Byron, he finally won a race at least. So there's that. And then Cole Custer, Rookie of the Year, is a decent consolation price, I guess. But yeah, that's all they basically earned or something. I'm not really sure. But yeah, so this is your round of 16. Your round of 12. And the announcement is I will be making a round of 12 elimination video this Wednesday, like how I did with the the round of 16. So I'm going to be making a round of 12 prediction, and then before Kansas, I'll make a round of 8 prediction, and then before the championship 4 race, the final race of the season, I will be making a round. I'll be making a championship 4 pick or guess or whatever. But yeah, so that's about it. So yeah, thanks guys for watching so much. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and yeah, so I'll be making that video. I will upload a video before I upload this one. It's a review with Dylan and Kozlowski, so watch that video first, or watch whatever one first. But if you're watching this one first, please go watch the review. It's in my YouTube channel. So yeah, that's basically all. Then I'll make a video on Wednesday, and then we're back to Sunday racing. Finally. It's been 2 weeks, so we're back to Sunday racing with Las Vegas Motor Speedway, the first mile-and-a-half race since Kansas, so pretty pumped for that. I want Jimmy to win. But yeah, so that's about it. So I'll see you guys next time. Have a great rest of your night, and I'll see you all Wednesday. Peace out.